When you're cold or need something to do, cast on a project or see an old one through. Grab a beer, take a seat, frog with a friend or two. Fuck this knit. Fuck this knit. Fuck it.
Hello, and welcome to Fuck This Knit, the podcast where we talk about knitting and we swear a lot. Woohoo. Yay!
Dorks.
Yep. I am one of the hostesses. I am Amber. I remembered my name this time.
So proud! So excited.
And tonight, I am drinking a Goodwood Spruce Tip IPA. And yes, it does taste like pine tree.
That doesn't sound awesome.
That sounds disgusting. Yeah, enjoy your grody beer. None of us will try to steal it.
I really am. I really am. It's really good.
Yeah. My name is Erin, and today I'm drinking the Divergent Berliner Style Sour Ale by Rivertown, and it is delicious.
Reminds me I need to take a sip of that.
Yeah. Mine doesn't taste like a pine tree, so other people might enjoy it.
You could say it's themed after that Divergent book.
I've not read that, though.
It's okay.
That's motherfucking tasty.
Right? Like, it's fucking good.
Yeah.
Do you like sours? You don't like sours. Yeah. I forgot. I remember that from this weekend.
I am Emily, and I am drinking the Boatswain Chocolate Stout, which I think is supposed to be pronounced different. There's a little pronunciation guide down here. It says Boatswain, but it's spelled Bosun, just Bosun, but it's spelled Boatswain.
It is a bosun, though.
Is that the type?
It's a nautical theme, yeah. It's a nautical term. Exactly what it is, I cannot remember, but it is bosun.
It's real hard for me to see that word and read bosun.
I know.
Anyway, it's a chocolate stout brewed with cocoa powder, and it is tasty. It
That does sound good.
Bleh. Shock. Oh.
Yeah. So we're all drinking something that somebody else at this table do not want.
Mm-hmm. Do not want. But, you know, that's all good. That's why they make so many different types of beers.
Hallelujah.
Yep. We'll start off with some news.
Do we have news?
Emily, do you got news?
Yes. So, we went to the Kentucky Sheep and Fiber Festival this weekend, which you're going to hear a buttload about.
Buttload.
But while we were there, we got you guys a prize. Yay! It is from Twist Fiber Studio, which was a booth there, and they're super awesome. And it is a skein of their Ashland Sport in the Girl at the Rock Show colorway, which is a super hot pink awesomeness with some black.
With black.
Yeah.
I kind of wish I'd picked up a skein of that for myself.
It's really pretty. It is 328 yards of 100% superwash merino in a sport weight. So
beautiful.
It's
and every
beautiful.
time I see the name,
Also,
I
if
get
you're
Weezer stuck in my head.
In knitting
Yeah.
my geodesic cowl,
Girl
the
at the
small
rock
one,
show.
this would be the perfect amount of yarn for that. So there you go.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's fucking gorgeous, and I'm having regrets. But that's okay, because I can buy shit online.
Yeah, always.
Once I get over being broke as fuck.
And that is going to be an Instagram contest, so look out for that on the Instagram. You can follow us there at Fuck This Knit. Oh, no, not Fuck This Knit.
F this knit.
F This Knit. Because Instagram
Fuck censorship.
doesn't love the swears. You can follow us on other social media channels. We are at F This Knit on Twitter. We don't tweet that much. Gonna be upfront about it.
Maybe I should.
Yeah, we're going to pass that off to you, because neither one of us tweet.
And I tweet.
I'm good at the Instagram and I keep up the Facebook.
Yeah,
but
you do an
Yeah,
amazing
and
job.
I need to get off my ass and help with the Instagram, too, because I Instagram a lot now.
Yes. And you can go to facebook.com/fthisknit to follow said Facebook. I think that's it.
On
You can join our
Ravelry.
Ravelry group. Fuck This Knit.
Yeah.
It's actually fuck on that one. I'm not just misspeaking. And hey, last time we asked you guys to join our group because we wanted to be over 100 members, and we succeeded.
Yeah, it's very fucking exciting.
It's so fucking exciting.
When I checked earlier today, we're at like 111.
Crushing it.
Oh.
Yeah. I'm so stoked.
Oh, that's the other thing. We need to inform these people that we are recording this right after the Fiber Festival, but we're...
Yes, we are recording
Yes.
early, but we are not posting early because that is not how our hosting service works. Deal with it. literally can't post the episode right now. So we are recording a couple weeks before it's actually going to go up. So if we
that way,
talk anything, if we say anything that is weird and out of date, like that orb picture of Trump with Saruman is amazing.
Yes.
Oh
That's
my
why.
God! Like no, there's an animated version. I have to show you guys because it's a clip from Lord of the Rings where Gandalf is just like talking to Saruman and he covers it because you don't know who else is watching. When he touches it, instead of seeing the eye, he sees the Egyptians and Trump.
That's so good.
Or the Saudi Arabians.
I love it. I need to see this.
Thank you for making this travesty.
Yeah,
so
I will
much
have
better.
to show this to you guys in a little bit because I found it yesterday and have been laughing at it ever since.
Yeah, I've just been looking at the main picture. It's so great. I love
Oh,
it.
there's so many different versions.
Yeah, I know. It's good.
Somebody
Good
did
job, Internet.
Photoshop the eye onto the Palantir and the orb, which was good.
I need to be on the internets more.
Yeah.
Or I
You're
just
missing
need to
out.
send you bits of the internet more.
Yeah, you just need to send me bits of the internet.
You have a child. You
Yeah.
can't afford, can't really be
and
on
a
the internet.
job now.
Yeah.
Yeah. You have no times. I just have a job and cats. So
Same.
internet, all the things.
Yeah. Yeah.
The other thing we asked you guys to do, you also succeeded in. We asked you guys to write some reviews on iTunes, and we got 2 5-star iTunes reviews.
Which is fucking awesome. Thanks,
it's so
guys.
fucking awesome. Thank you so much.
You guys are the best.
You are the best. If you haven't reviewed us on iTunes, feel free to do that thing. It would be cool. Or if you don't listen to us on iTunes, review us on whatever other
On your
podcast
listening
service you
podcast
use.
thingy
Stitcher,
of choice.
YouTube.
Google Play. Yeah. So, BT Dubs, I haven't been putting the episodes on YouTube because the first episode literally had like 1 view. So I was like, this isn't worth it because I have to like upload it to this special thing to insert the picture. Cause
Yeah, just have to
YouTube-
touch it in special places. It's fine.
Yeah, because YouTube won't let you put up just audio. You have to have like a video. So I had to use this service to make a quote unquote video with just our logo. But now that I know that Miss Rennie from the monthly thread wants to listen/watch on YouTube, I will go ahead and continue putting the episodes up on YouTube and not be a lazy podcast host.
So the thing that we have learned from this is if you ask us to do something, we'll probably do it.
do it. Just ask us.
Just let us know. Yeah.
I just didn't think I was pleasing anyone, and it was kind of a pain in the butt to not please anyone.
The more you know.
Do-do-do-do.
Thank you.
Okay, onward and upward. So we have finished items. Do you guys have any finished items?
I have one.
Yay, 1 finished item. Go for it.
I finished a hat, which is a pattern that I designed. It is called Bunnies Are Cute.
And they really are.
They really are cute. And it is a fingering weight, really simple colorwork hat in 2 colors. There's background and there are bunnies. And there's a test knit up for it right now where we are in life. But by the time this goes up, I think it might be too late for that, but feel free to poke it and see if it's still up. But yes, that will be publishing after I take professional pictures of the hat.
Yes.
Excellent.
Excellent.
And I have a finished item. Woohoo! Yes. I am very excited because this has been a long time coming because I've been working on Kirsten's socks for, I think I looked at it was like September of last year. And so I just now finished it. And now I have to save it until her birthday, which is in September.
Oh,
Yeah.
Kirsten's modeling my hat for me.
Aw. She's a good model. She really is. She's modeled a lot of my things. Yes. So she will hopefully appreciate the socks. I actually got the yarn. It's from I wouldn't say company. It's from an indie dyer here in Louisville called Spun for the Whole Family, and it was a beautiful gradient.
It's pretty.
Is pinkies and oranges and blue and purple, and it's very pretty, and I love it. And it's gonna look great on her feet. Doesn't really fit my foot, but that's the way it goes.
Oh, and the yarn for my bunny hat is just Knit Pick Stroll, sapphire heather, and white.
Yeah, I didn't finish shit.
That's okay.
It is okay.
But that's another thing about us recording early is that we've had less time to finish things. So don't judge us.
Yeah, because honestly, I'm almost done with this shark-infested water shawl. I would have been done, but I've,
So you
using all the yarn.
You want to go ahead and start with
So I'm
the
going to go ahead and
works
start
in
with the work
progress?
in progress.
Yeah.
And seamlessly move us on here. No, actually, I'm past the pattern. I'm now off-road, but I have more yarn than the pattern calls for, so I want to use all of it because it was like the most awesome birthday present ever. Thank you, Emily.
Yay!
And I want to use all of the yarns. So it should be done by the next episode. If not, oh my God, something's happened.
Well, I mean, honestly, you might finish it before this episode even airs.
It's true.
This is true, actually. At this
Episode
rate.
isn't airing for like at least 2 weeks.
I mean, let's look at this yarn. Well, I don't know. There's still... It's starting to get a little squishy, but this yarn just keeps going.
Yeah, and it may be close. Maybe really close.
We'll see.
So, any other works in progress? I know I heard you knitting on something earlier.
Yeah, I actually worked on my sweater like a good girl.
Good girl.
I know. I thought once I got to the interesting bits on the sleeve, which I'm finally at, that I would want to work on it more, but it turns out I'm still hate it for having to rip out the sleeve and knit it again. So I worked on that a little bit. And then Jimmy Beans. I've been working on the current clue. I'm actually not done because I've been working on other things and working a lot and fiber festing and whatnot, but I'm going to probably finish that clue tonight.
Nice.
Yeah.
Amber and I are both done with that clue.
Yes.
Yeah, I know.
And I really like that yarn. And
Oh
I
my
need a
God,
full
it's
skein
I know.
of it.
gorgeous.
Yeah, that one and then the April.
I really like
I
the
really
April,
want the
too.
April as well. And
Yeah.
I normally don't have this thing, like, I think this is a new thing growing on me with the speckled, because normally I don't like them, but
I'm starting to get into speckled. It took a
I've been
while.
into speckled.
Oh yeah,
you were
have.
just ahead of the curve.
We're
so
just
trendy.
we're just Amber and I are not nearly as trendy.
Nowhere near it.
So yeah. I mean, apparently my hair is trendy, but that's just crazy happenstance. But I think that's, other than plying some yarn on the wheel, that's about all I've really been working on.
Spinning is good.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So you want to go next on your works?
Sure. I have worked on my dad socks, which are just vanilla big ol' man socks in opal. And I have been working on my Exploration Station by Stephen West in the Hedgehog Fibers, and that is super fun. I know you guys don't like that pattern, but it is like real fun to work on.
I don't
would
think it's
recommend
that I
it.
necessarily don't like the pattern. It's just it doesn't fully excite me. Like, it looks good, and I think a lot of people would really enjoy knitting it. It's just not
It's a
me.
super fun knit because there's so many different sections of it, so it like keeps you entertained.
Yeah, no, I like all the yarn that you're using, though.
Yes, the yarn is gorgeous.
I really
Yeah.
need to get my hands on some hedgehog fibers.
It's like it a lot.
Yeah, but at the same time, probably shouldn't get my hands on that because then I'll want more, and it's just a vicious cycle.
All downhill from there.
Oh, absolutely. Like when the first time I touched Volmisa.
Yeah.
Now there's a Volmisa section of my stash.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The hedgehog fibers is dangerous. So I'm working on that, and I'm also working on my Varda socks by Women Designs, which are super cable-y and taking 1,000 years because all of the cables.
But they're so pretty.
They are very pretty. Yes. And they do fit my foot. That was
Good.
exciting. I was going to keep knitting them anyway. They would have just been a Christmas present.
For someone.
For someone. Probably my sister. She has skinnier feet than me. And, I'm working on the large version of my geodesic cowl, which is a pattern I designed. It's not anywhere in the internet. Sorry.
Soon.
Yeah.
Sorry, not sorry.
So it's modularly knit, so I need to take some photos to describe where you pick up stitches for certain things, so I can't test knit it until I'm done knitting the sample and have pretty pictures.
Oh, yeah. But that's the best way, honestly, I think, is to make sure everything works. And then, really, because I remember reading about some dumpster fires of patterns before where they've not been test knit
Yeah, I
and
personally
causing huge issues. What
knit
was that?
both sizes of this cowl, and for the bunny hat, because it's like a pretty simple hat with a chart, I knit the adult size, and then I'm having testers test knit the other sizes.
Right. Well, I mean, that's
One of them is here.
Guess
that's
which one
a little different, though, because you know that the pattern works.
Yes. Yes, the modularly knit, I wanted to personally knit both of them because
Right.
it's kind of, I don't know that
'Cause that's more
anything has
complicated.
been done like this before, so.
Right. No, these were some particular controversy that I'm thinking of had to do with like lace shawls.
Oh, yeah.
That the designer had written and
I'm
then
trying to
never
design one of
had
those.
anybody
It's
knit.
harder than you would think. It involves a lot of math.
Right. Well, she didn't have anybody knit any of it and then released it as like a monthly along, and then it just was like a dumpster fire, and thankfully I was not involved. I just sat back and ate popcorn and watched the fire burn.
Rubbernecker.
Yep. That's exactly where I found out about it too, is rubberneckers. No shame in my game. Sit back, watch the fire.
That's everything that I had that already existed, and then I have one new thing.
Well, I have some ongoing works in progress. So, of course, the Tosh shawl, because we're all knitting that, and it's lovely. And I'm still working on...
Is it June yet?
No.
Oh.
I'm also working on the Whippet, and that's going along well. I have finished the lace portion on one sleeve, and then I decided that I was going to go ahead and pick up stitches on the other sleeve, because I want to knit the lace portion on that, make sure I have them even,
Yeah.
and then do the ribbing, which is actually on a smaller size needle, one at a time as well, so that way I can...
That's a
just keep
fingering weight shawl?
Yes, it is.
I mean, shawl. Sweater.
Sweater.
Words.
Yeah. Cardigan thing.
Well, my brain's still high on wool fumes because we had all the wool out on the table.
There's still
Like
a lot
a-
of wool on the table.
There's still a lot of wool on the table, but we did pack some of it away. So there was not a table just covered in wool.
And I think that's all of my works in progress because I finished the socks. Yeah, as of right now, that's it.
Nice.
Yep.
Did you start anything?
I did. I'm actually working on it right now. The lapis lazuli. How do you-
Lapis lazuli.
Lapis lazuli. Yeah.
Pretty sure.
By
Is now.
Martina Bem. It's a wonderful pattern. I am loving it. It's
Bem.
a lot of stockinette with some eyelets in it, and it's gorgeous. And the
I
yarn.
can't wait to see that finished.
The yarn that I'm using is something I cannot pronounce, but it is a lace weight, and the colorway name is lapis lazuli.
Oh, appropriate.
I think it was actually made for it because pretty much when I searched for this yarn on Ravelry, it was only made for.
Well, she does
She
a yearly
did-
club that.
Yeah, I was going to say she did a club,
pattern.
a yarn club,
Well,
which,
it's-
yeah, if she does that again next year, I may
And
have to
it's, like
think about it.
exclusive for a certain amount of time, and then she releases it. Mhm.
Yeah, I started following her on Instagram, and holy shit. I may have a giant girl crush. It's fine.
But I'm really enjoying the knit. It's going along great. This is another one of my will work for yarns, and she's absolutely loving all the pictures that I sent her. I actually had to start it over twice.
You were there for one of those.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. We
'Cause
had to be the bearers of bad news. for
The
one of
first time I
those.
cast it on, it did not look pretty, and my girls convinced me to rip it out and try again, and then I...
She asked us our opinion, and that was her first mistake.
Yeah. But, you know, you guys were right. It just wasn't going to work.
You're
and
happier
so
now.
I am happier now. But, like, after I ripped it out and then tried again, I came up short. And that's when it went back in the bag. And I was like, I'll just deal with that later.
And you go into timeout and think about what you've done, you bastard.
And then the third time I did it, it was great. And it's fine. And now I'm just zooming along.
Nice.
It looks nice.
Yeah. It feels so wonderful. Like, this yarn is great.
I also started a Martina Bem pattern.
Yay!
Yay! I am making a hitchhiker. This is the fourth or fifth hitchhiker that I have knit. I have knit a lot of hitchhikers. But it is out of my own hand spun with the intention of entering it in the state fair. So woo. And the hand spun is made from fiber by Deep Dyed Yarns, who we got to hang out with at the festival this weekend.
Super fun.
Yay! In her Olympia fiber, which it's some combination of merino and bamboo. Might be silk in it. I'm not 100% sure. I should have looked this up.
Whatever.
But
Naughty
it's red
podcaster.
and black and pretty.
It is very pretty. And it's knitting up quite nicely.
I'm impressed with myself.
Do you have any other things that you started?
I don't think so.
No.
I think because I've been that Stephen West shawl it's an intense shawl.
Eating away at your life?
Yeah.
I managed not to start anything.
Gasp.
I know. I'm trying to hold myself more accountable and finish some fucking things.
Yeah.
Since I have, quite a few more works in progress that just aren't in the current rotation. So, yeah.
No, I got that feels.
Yeah.
My coworker today decided to ask me how many projects I had on the needles.
I don't answer
Foolish
that question.
human.
I actually had to sit down and count. I couldn't remember, and then I did, and then I was like, oh dear God, I
Yeah.
have some work to do.
I'm going to go with the trollish version of counting and one too many lots. I'm at lots.
Yeah, I'm at lots too. But, that's whatever. We just...
A woman never discusses the amount of her works in progress.
Or her stash size.
Exactly.
Was putting this the stash enhancement that we will soon talk about away in the cedar chest, and Chad saw me open the cedar chest and he was like, whoa. Yeah, it's also not all of it.
Yeah. My stash is growing so much that I quite literally was shoving it into the boxes in order to make it fit.
Yeah, I don't know if I can fit any of the Kentucky sheep and wool into my
Oh no.
current stash containment units. Yeah.
Well, I know you need a bucket, but we'll talk
I know
about that
yeah.
later.
I have not purchased the bucket yet, but that's like $4. But I'm talking about like the yarn and the fiber. Yeah.
Yeah.
I might have to go cold sheet for the rest of the year.
I think we all are at this point. But then again, that may
I don't
just
know if I
be...
can commit to that.
I was about to say, that may just be sheep and wool talking. You know, Kentucky sheep and wool.
That's the coming down off the wool fumes talking. Like, oh my God, what have I done? I'm cold sheep the rest of the year. 2 months later. Ooh, that's pretty.
That'll be about it. But speaking of stash enhancements, I have some stash enhancements that are not Kentucky sheep and wool related.
Woohoo.
You talk about them.
Mostly because these are rewards for my will work for yarn. So I have 2 skeins here of the Canon hand dyes in Harry Potter related colorways, both Ravenclaw and Hufflepuff. And they're squishy, and it's a silk merino, and I loves it. And these are going to be on my feet. Well, the Hufflepuffs are going to be on my feet.
What are you going to do with the Ravenclaw?
Man socks. The husbeast is getting some man socks.
I don't think I knew he was Ravenclaw.
Yep, he's Ravenclaw.
Yes.
Okay.
We're co-Ravenclaws.
Well, your husband and I are co-Slytherins, so
It's true.
it's fine.
Moving on. Then I have 2 skeins of socks that rock lightweight. One in the colorway Forget Me Nots. Is a pretty blue and green and very light and airy and makes me think of springtime.
It's very springy.
Very springy. And then the other colorway is the Crown Princess of Purple Violetta.
Yeah, no, that's really pretty.
Is very purple.
It's very purple.
It is the purpliest of purples that I probably own. And I am in love with both of them, and I don't know exactly what they're going to be, but the purple...
I'm going to call it Barney the Dinosaur purple.
Thanks for ruining it.
I'm not trying to ruin it. I was trying to
Bitch.
give it a picture in people's minds.
No, it's a little more plummy purple.
it's
His
reddish.
is more of like a royally purple.
Yeah, I think that's accurate.
I think royal purple is great because it's for the crown princess. It's crown princess
Yeah, but royal
of purple
purple-
Violetta. Anyways,
It's a plummy purple.
whatever. It's purple.
It's not Barney purple, it's plummy purple.
Okay. Either way, it's purple. It's pretty. I don't know what it's going to do yet, but I loves it. And then my last stash enhancement was actually...
Needs to come live with me.
No. This is mine. You got yours. This was a birthday present.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
And it is from Fresh from the Cauldron in the colorway Exorcist.
Yay.
For those of you who don't know, you know, we love our horror movies. And
Well,
it's
some
just,
of us love our
well,
horror movies.
Yeah.
Not me.
Yeah,
No.
yeah, I was looking at you.
Yeah. Well, I love horror movies.
I love
It's
horror
okay, I
movies.
supported your love.
And one
Yeah.
of my favorite is The Exorcist. And I absolutely love everything exorcism movie related wise. And which is probably why I've watched The Rite twice this month already.
Nice.
And because, yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's that part Catholic upbringing that I had. I don't know. Either way.
I don't know. I enjoy a good Exorcist movie, and I'm not even remotely related to Catholicism.
But the Exorcist colorway is beautiful. It is the blacks and greens of pea soup. Mm-hmm. And then a brighter green to complement it all. And it's
gorgeous.
Lovely. And it will... I think it's going to live on my feet.
I think it's self-striping.
It looks like it'll be self-striping. I think you told me that it was supposed to be self-striping. Which definitely means it's going to go on my feet. Because I love some striping socks. Mm-hmm. Those are fun. But yeah, so lots of stash enhancement. That was not any of it purchased by me.
That's the
Best kind.
The best day ever. Okay, I'm done with stash enhancements. Woohoo!
Woo.
Yay.
So our main topic for this episode is the Kentucky Sheep and Fiber Festival.
Because fuck yeah, it is.
We went there this weekend. It was fun. We saw some of you.
We did, and that was awesome.
If you came up to say hi to us, thank you. You rock. You are the best. A+. And
Yeah.
if we missed you, we're sorry.
And that was really exciting, though. Like meeting our listeners.
Meeting real live humans.
Yeah, we're not just listened to by robots. It's awesome.
I know, right?
There are people.
Real people.
Yeah, and we also handed out some buttons to some vendors. and
So
stuff.
many
Yep.
buttons.
So fun times.
Ate some waffles.
Ate
Waffle
so many
sandwiches.
waffles.
Oh my gosh, so many waffles. So good. Much tasty. Wow. So we are all going to talk about all the things that we got.
Which is a lot of things.
Which is a
Some stuff.
lot of things.
One or two things, really.
It's
per
a
person.
ton of things.
Like booth.
Like,
Kentucky Sheep and Fiber Festival is actually a really decently sized festival, considering it's Kentucky.
right.
And it's hot.
Yes, but again, I explained to you why we have it in May. Sometimes it's cold. Most of the time it's raining and gross.
Right.
This time it
It
just
was
happened to be
hot.
like 900 million degrees and sunshiny, and I got burnt even though I sunscreened 5 times.
Welcome to Kentucky.
Yeah, it's springtime in Kentucky, but they hold it every year at the same time as the sheepdog trials because those have been going on for like over 50 years. So they wanted to hold this in conjunction with
They
that
should move those.
because sheepdogs, so add sheep, and everybody's happy. Plus, there's already another strange, tiny wool fest thing in Kentucky in the middle of nowhere in the fall that's not really about wool anymore, but still called Wool Festival or something like that.
Which we'll do that one too, but
Oh, yeah.
for now, it's the Kentucky Sheep and Wool, and it was a great fun. We got a lot of things, and we saw a lot of people, handed out a lot of buttons, ate a lot of food. You guys had beers.
We did.
Yeah, they added beer to the festival this year, which makes me so happy.
West
It was a West
6.
Six.
Yes.
West
And-
6th
Lexington
Brewing
based.
Company, based out of Lexington, had a booth there with actually a decent variety of their
So,
beer.
They had their IPA, their amber,
their cocoa porter,
their wheat.
Yeah, I had the Belgian wheat.
the Belgian
then
wheat, and
the
then they
sour.
had the Meadow Weiss,
Yeah.
Berliner Weiss.
So you
sour.
basically had like almost one of each style.
Yeah, it was awesome.
It was really nice.
All in a can for like $4 each. It was great.
Yeah.
Especially when, so Emily and I went the first day because Amber could not join us that day because, you know,
Baby.
baby. And the 3 of us went on Sunday. So Emily and I definitely hit up the beer when it was 900 million degrees on Saturday. Sunday, it was actually much cooler.
It was really nice. It actually
it was
rained on us a bit though.
Just a little bit. Wasn't too bad.
Yeah. Until you guys were standing there at the
Oh,
silent auction,
yes,
and
in
it's
the
like,
rain.
we're gonna open up the skies. Have
Because
fun.
you're waiting to swoop in on the silent auction.
Anyways, so we should probably talk about some things that we got. Some talk about some booths. So one of the first things that we can all talk about is the Spew sock set.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Or
excited about those.
SPEW, because if you say spew, Hermione gets mad.
It's true. We don't want to make Hermione mad.
Exactly.
Spew.
So they were from Bat Yarns.
Bah.
Which,
Ba.
Bat.
Bah.
Bah.
B-A-H.
Oh, typo.
Ba, like sheep.
Yeah.
Because it's,
Brenda and Heather? Brenda and Heather. I was right. Yep. I have mine right here, so.
yeah.
Mine was a typo because I'm looking off my phone because I apparently auto-corrected that shit.
Oh, yeah, that totally
Well.
happened. Yeah, B-A-H yarns for Brenda and Heather.
Yep.
Unsurprisingly, I ended up getting the colorway Loyalty, which was for Hufflepuff.
Yeah, I purchased Ambition for Slytherin.
And I got Knowledge for Ravenclaw. And they're cool because they are 2 mini sock skeins. So you have 1 skein for each sock. So you can easily do 2 at a time socks if you want. This might be my first pair of 2 at a time socks, I'm thinking, because it's already set up that way.
It's a lot of fun.
And a contrast heel and toe skein. And a little teeny tiny stitch marker that matches.
Yeah, I was really excited about the little teeny tiny stitch marker.
Which color is yours? I can't see from here.
Mine is like the Ravenclaw blue and a bronze one. Because that's their official is bronze. It's
Yes.
their secondary color.
Yes. My stitch marker on mine's just black. And I love it.
Nice.
Black and
Mine's
it's kind of like diamond shaped.
green and silver, which makes me very, very happy. And I also got something else from them, although not directly. So Kentucky Sheep and Fiber Festival does a silent auction, and they do different stuff both days. So there's a whole set of stuff on Saturday and a whole set of stuff on Sunday. And I don't know
I
if
felt like the stuff was better on Sunday.
I have felt like that for the last couple of years. I usually don't bid on anything on Saturday, and I always win something on Sunday because I will eBay that shit and snipe in at the last second and sign off while they're saying pencils down because I have no shame. Usually each of the vendors, I guess, donate something to the silent auction.
Yeah, that's what it seemed like.
Is my assumption
And I
is that
think
they
the
donate
money goes
and then the money
towards
goes back
helping
into the festival.
yeah.
But yeah, so I actually won a skein of their yarn in their Tough Toes base, and Mr. Roy G. Biv which is exactly what you would think. It is self-striping in rainbow, and it also came with a stitch marker. So I think they actually put a little stitch marker on all of their yarns, which is very
I
exciting.
think I was saying that. But it's
I love
really
a little
cool.
stitch marker. Like
Yes.
that's exciting.
It's very
And they
cute.
specialize in self-striping and gradient yarns.
Yes, their
We
gradients
saw
were
some
so
really cool gradients
gorgeous.
there. They had those. They did math. So if you knit a garter tab triangle shawl, the gradient will stay even for the whole.
Yeah, they had some really excellent shawl balls that they had.
I was very
done
tempted
lots
by
of
those.
math. Yeah.
Very, very tempted.
Absolutely. So yeah, that's exciting.
So, anything else from Ba?
You
No.
got stitch markers, right?
I did get stitch markers from them. Yes, I
Yeah.
got the sheep butt stitch markers. So there's there's a whole set of stitch markers, and they were rainbow, except the big stitch marker, it had a little sheepy on the front, and they're like, here, turn it over, it has a sheep butt on the back. And I was like, oh, that's amazing, I want those.
Yeah, the sheep had a front and a bum. It was nice.
But those aren't actually going with me, they're going somewhere else, but that's beside the point. It's a sheep butt, that's what really matters.
That is what matters. And it is a thing that you purchased from their booth.
Yes, it is gorgeous. Do we want to talk about Yarn Geek next?
Sure.
I know you do.
Okay, story time.
First
So-
off, we love Yarn
Yes.
Geek fibers. Like, absolutely 100%. She's awesome. All right, now continue.
Okay, story time. So last year went to the Sheep and Fiber Festival and went by her booth and saw that she had a whole series of yarn colorways inspired by female scientists,
Which is awesome.
which is completely awesome and was beautiful. And of course, I fawned all over them. And what ended up happening was I found one called Rosalind Franklin. For those of you who don't know, Rosalind Franklin was actually the reason that the DNA structure was discovered. Yeah, that's another story.
Yeah, don't get me started on that one.
Yeah, don't get us started. Oh, lordy.
I have opinions and feels.
But anyways, so my daughter was actually named partly after Rosalind Franklin. And so immediately that yarn was like coming home with me. And I was like, I need this in my life. And I immediately knit socks out of it and I love them. And then I knit gray socks out of them. And then she grew out of them. But that's beside the point. The point is, I talked to her about doing another colorway in Grace Hopper. Grace Hopper was the other scientist that my daughter's named after. And she was actually a big deal in the computer science world. As she was I think it was a rear general in the Navy. And she was working on like basically their first computer. So like the Navy's first computer she was working with and programming. Cool. And she was actually the reason for the term bug in the program because she found an actual moth in the computer. And so she is basically the reason why we call them bugs.
Interesting.
Yeah, I love it.
Moths, not just the paint of knitters.
And she Yarn Geek just absolutely loved this story and was like, yes, I'm gonna do that. And then come this year, and she had the Grace Hopper color, and it was absolutely gorgeous. So I bought 3 skeins of it
And she specifically made it so that it would go nicely
with the Rosalind Franklin yarn.
Yeah, which was awesome.
And yep, I'm choking up.
Oh, I love it. The
It's so sweet. But yeah, actually, they go really great together.
They
'Cause
really
the
do.
Rosalind's like a really pretty tealy blue, and then Grace Hopper is.
It's mostly this like blackish gray, and then it has these wonderful colors thrown in it, and that same tealy blue is actually in it.
It's like tealy blue and red and yellow.
So I think she was kind of going maybe with the resistors.
That's what I was thinking, because they also have the resistor stitch markers made from where her father used to do ham radio stuff. So she salvaged all these like old resistors from that and has turned them into stitch markers. And that's actually what I purchased from her this year, because they're really cute. And actually the set that I got is 1 resistor and a bunch of diodes. Yeah.
diode.
Yeah. Because I was like, ooh, nerdy stitch markers. And I've been meaning to pick up a set for like a million years every time we go.
Every year.
Yeah. And this year I finally actually did. So yeah, exciting.
Very exciting.
But yes.
And I got a little braid of roving that is not dyed by her beautiful dyness, but is just mixed plain white and black BFL for the undyed category in the state fair. But she blended them really nice. They're like, it's kind of like stripey, even though it's undyed fiber.
Is very pretty.
It is pretty.
Anything else from Nerd Girl?
think.
Or Yarn Geek.
Yarn Geek.
Yarn Geek.
I
Oh my
think that's-
You're
gosh.
having a moment.
I'm having a moment. I'm having those memories of joy and ecstasy, and I'm just kind of like, someone else should lead.
Yeah, I think that was
That
for
was
one.
it. Yeah. All right. So we should talk about Twist Fiber Studio since they
Yeah.
gave us a.
So there, we talked about at the top of the podcast that we have a skein of their lovely yarn for you guys. But we also bought stuff from them
Because fuck yeah, I did.
Awesome. I got my first ever sock blank.
And it's so pretty. I want
It's
one.
so pretty. It is like rainbow with like some black.
Black.
like speckle splash.
It reminds me almost like a
bits.
rainbow galaxy.
Yeah, it's really cool. So I got that, and I am really excited to knit that up because I have never used a sock blank before, and it feels really soft and awesome.
Yep. And I purchased a skein of their Lexington fingering weight in Andromeda, which is white with like purpley speckles. And this one is sparkly because fuck yeah, I wanted sparkles. Not sure what it's going to be, but it needed to come live with me.
I agree, because I actually looked at both of the sister components of what you guys have, and I was very tempted to get them, but instead I spent all of my money on Grace Hopper yarn.
Well, yeah,
Like you do.
understandable.
Fair enough.
Okay, what else? Oh, I guess I'll talk about my Apothecary fabrication.
I like her name.
Apothecary
It's very cute.
Fabrications. I purchased some of her 80/20 Merino Silk in greens. And she said she actually doesn't really name her colorways.
She wants to be free to just dye whatever the fuck she wants. it
Basically,
seems like. So
yeah.
she doesn't have named specific things she
Because she may
redoes.
not repeat them at a later date, is basically what she said. So she said if we really wanted her to, she'd name it, but I'm not worried about it. It's
It's a gradient.
It's a gradient of greens. It goes from like an electric-y green to like an olive green. And it looks like there's I can't remember the yardage on it, and it's all the way over there.
It's lace weight.
But it's, no, I think it's
it's
fingering,
I
but
think
it's
it's
just,
fingering.
it's, okay, you guys sit. I'm going to go put on some hold music. I'll be right back.
Do 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 do. Do 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 do.
I forgot that
Boom.
part.
We watch Jeopardy a lot, like a lot.
So yes, now that I've run off and found it, it is 600 yards.
Snap.
A fingering,
But I think
light fingering,
it says 100 grams 2-ply.
light fingering.
Yeah. But yeah, so it's going to be a shawl of some kind. I just don't know what. I just really like green.
I definitely see that as like a trillion or something.
Be a
No,
big one.
no.
I was going to say Trillion is it's a shawlette.
But like you can adjust it.
Yeah, but then I don't know. I'm thinking this might need beads.
Oh
Do a
well.
boo knits.
Yeah,
Boom.
I'm thinking it might need to be a boonets with beads.
I was actually looking at a lot of her stuff today.
It's so nice. I really need to get off my ass and work on my taboo some more.
Yes, you do.
Because I love knitting it. I just keep fucking up, which is not the fault of the designer. It's the fault of me and my inability to read straight. At times.
At times, like at 4 a.m.
Yeah. When I get off work and try to knit lace. What the fuck am I doing? Who knows? Not me. But yeah, so I got this really awesome merino silk. It's really squishy, and there's 600 yards of this fucker, and I love it, and I can't wait to knit it with some dark beads, I'm thinking. Like maybe some hematite, but yeah.
She also had a lot of roving, which I thought was really cool.
She did. I almost bought some of it.
She has a lot of really nice stuff. She's been there in the past, and yeah, I really like her stuff.
It
So.
is a wide variety of colors too. So she had
And she had-
speckled, she had gradients, she had some
Neon.
pastels.
And what I liked is she said that they're basically her gradients are hidden, so you don't necessarily know that they're gradients. But when I picked it up, she's like, "Oh, that's gradient." I'm like, "Oh, that's even better."
Speaking of gradients,
I got one of
I
those.
purchased a gradient set, which is unlike me, but it's by Mode Knit Yarn, and it is actually one of their Time Lord gradients. It was the Call Box Blue.
It's pretty.
It's 1,152 yards.
Whoa.
Which is the reason why I bought it.
Oh, yeah, 'cause
because
we're gonna
it's
do the
going to
pain.
be the pain. Or payon. Sorry, payon. Pain.
The pain.
Pain. So I'm going to attempt that again. And I think I'm going to use the same beads because they were just the clear silver lined. I think that would look really pretty.
I still
That's
have
good.
my yarn and my beads ready.
Yeah. We just need to start this again at some point.
Yeah.
Later.
After taboo.
After Taboo, which I have the yarn for. I don't have the beads for yet.
You should get on that. Except not, because you'll finish before I do.
Well, I still have a lot of other things to do.
Well, yeah. You should
I've
work the
decided I
beads
want to
into like
wear
next
mine
month.
for my cousin's wedding in November, so I have to finish it by November.
Yeah, I briefly toyed around with the idea of wearing mine to a wedding that I'm going to, but that's June 11th, and no.
Nope.
No.
Not even I could do that.
No. I mean, I could if I quit my job. But I need a sugar daddy, and I just don't really want one right now. That takes like a lot of effort to find one, so I'll just keep working.
It's
for
safer
now.
bet. Yeah.
Yeah. Plus, I like my boyfriend a lot, so he might not like the whole sugar daddy thing.
Oh, do we want to talk about them? Like the ladies that I bought this from? They were really cool. Because you were feeling up on their silk thing?
Oh, yeah. They had this, that was mode knit yarn, right?
Yeah, mode knit.
They had a luxury sock base that was silk and merino,
yeah.
and it was like the softest thing I've ever felt. And
It was stupidly soft. Oh my god, it
I've
was
still
so
been thinking
nice.
about it. Might need to be on my list for next year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they had a Rory Gilmore colorway that I really liked. It was speckly.
Yeah, because you guys fondled more of their yarn than I did, because I was at the vendor across the way talking about podcasty stuff.
Yeah.
While you guys were over
that
there.
like luxury base was like insanely soft.
It
Yeah,
wasn't,
it
it
really
wasn't
was.
50-50, was it? It was an 80-20?
I think it was more. I don't know.
I don't know.
50-50.
I
Maybe
think
it
it
is a
was
50-50.
because it was stupidly soft. Because I did come back and fondle that.
But yeah, it was really pretty. Very pretty colorways. And just yummy. I'm just glad I found the big pack gradient.
And they had a really big booth. They had a lot of stuff.
A lot of stuff.
And they had little mini skein sets of Stars Hollow and Doctor Who and Sherlock theme stuff, which was
Yeah.
fun.
I think they even had a what do you call it? The decapitation one.
The decapitation one.
That show that everyone likes.
Game of Thrones?
Yeah, that one.
Okay.
I would have gone with
My
dragons, but
next guess was the Tudors.
Well, I mean, I've only watched season 1, and so, there's a lot of decapitation in season 1.
I would go with dragons.
Oh, there was really no dragons in the first season. But anyways, moving on.
I got some cotton roving, which is fun.
Oh, yeah, you did.
That was from Touch of Color Fiber Studio. They're from West Virginia. And I got cotton roving, and it is soft, and we'll see how that works for the spinning.
And it looks like Erin's hair.
It does. It looks like a unicorn frappuccino.
Yeah, actually, I do match.
I like it because it's cotton and it's cotton candy colors. Mm-hmm. And I got a Tockley spindle, which is a little mini supported spindle. And the internet tells me that is the way to spin cotton.
That is what I understand as well.
So I'm going to be embarking on that journey.
Best of luck to you.
Yeah, good luck.
I watched some videos.
Oh, yeah.
Always watch videos.
It didn't help. They were pretty much like, yeah, you just do this. It was like that Ashford video.
Yeah.
Speaking of Ashford,
Oh, yeah, we should talk about that.
Oh, yeah. We met Kate from Ashford, and she was really awesome.
she was
Super
lovely.
awesome.
She was giving a blending board demonstration using their blending board. And holy fuck, she made it look so easy. I've
She
never
really
fucked
did.
around with either blending board or Rolex, actually. I tend to spin straight from roving. But yeah, she not only gave us a demonstration, but found out that none of us had spun from Rolex. So she walked us over to the Ashford wheel that they had set up nearby and made us all take turns spinning on it.
And it was wonderful.
It was very wonderful.
Because I always had assumed that Rolex were a lot like bats because they kind of look similar. They're like they look like little mini
I
sausage
thought
bats.
that they were going to be like stiffer, like that they would like be more compacted than they were.
Yeah. I don't know why I haven't fucked with them. I just hadn't.
But they were really nice
real
to
reason.
spin with. And it's like, it almost makes me want a blending board. And I'm not really one to be like, ooh, shiny new thing. I
Oh,
need
no, I
that.
fucking want a blending board.
Yeah. So
If she'd only done that the day before, when I still had more money, I would have had a blending board.
She was teaching classes that day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was also fun because she came all the way from New Zealand, and she has a very fun New Zealand accent.
And then she found out that Amber actually owns an Ashford wheel, I should say. Not
Yes.
Anne. And gave her Rolex and was just like, here, take these home, play with it on your wheel.
It's like, yeah.
Yeah, that was super fun.
Yes.
And
She
while
was
we're
at
talking
the
about
Woolery
that booth, she was
yeah.
at the Woolery booth. And I may or may not have fallen down really big at the Woolery booth. So
You knew you were going to fall down.
I knew I was going to fall down. I just didn't know they'd have festival pricing. So thank fuck.
So when you
Because
fell down onto a pillow.
I fell down, of fiber that I got to buy because
cloud.
Yeah.
of festival pricing on wheels. So I did actually get to buy my flat iron basically thanks to my grandmother.
And it's
randomly sending me money because I'd had a birthday at some point this year. And she was just like, we didn't do a thing for you. So here. I'm like, holy shit, perfect timing. So now I have 2 spinning wheels. And I've been fucking around with that.
After you put her together.
After I put her together yesterday.
She looked a little IKEA-y.
Oh my God, no, she's totally IKEA-y. And it took hours to put this wheel together. But actually, it all makes sense once you're doing it. But it just took a long time. And I also got a free bag of random fluffs from the Woolery from purchasing a wheel.
Very random.
Yeah, very, very random. One of which is an unidentified dryer lint of a fiber. I will track this down, though, and find out what it is. But until then, I'm test spinning random pink floof from the bag on the wheel while I learn that double drive is really different compared to what I'm normally used to on my Kromsky. But yeah, so far my new wheel does not have a name. Still deciding.
You'll figure it out.
She'll let me know. Calypso, I think, is mad at me because I brought another wheel home, but you know.
Traitor.
Yep, I am. I love them both.
It's not that much of a traitor.
They're very different.
They're very different.
They're very different. One's a castle style, one's a Saxony style. For starters, one can do all of the tensions, one can do one of the tensions.
One has a backpack.
And one is portable, one is not really. So yeah, and so since I did that, I immediately wandered over, because that was cheaper than I had thought it was going to be. I immediately wandered over and accidentally fell down and bought a Shetland fleece. That was the actual big oops. Yep. It's almost 4 pounds of raw Shetland.
Very raw.
Very, very sheepy.
It smells like a sheep.
It definitely smells like a sheep.
And it's going to be amazing. It's still chock full of lanolin, and it's so soft already. And I think it's going to spin up a treat. That guy does not actually have a website yet.
But he was super cool.
But he was super cool, and his name is Kevin Strohmeyer. And he has a Facebook page that I think you can contact him about Shetland fleece. They only had Shetland.
They were all very pretty.
They were all very pretty. And he said that they're working on getting like more of an online presence. But he was really fucking cool.
We offered him a button, and we asked if he wanted censored or uncensored, and he replied with, what did he say?
Something that involved the word fuck.
Yeah,
That's all
he was like, I don't give a fuck, or something.
yeah, I don't give a fuck about whether it's uncensored. We're like, here you go. You are our people, sir.
And I think that was another thing that was really interesting was a lot of the vendors were like, yeah, give me a fuck button. Like,
Right. I honestly expected us to hand out more of the censored buttons just because I've, spent a lot of time in Kentucky. I basically grew up here in a more rural section of the state. And yeah, the amount of uncensored buttons we handed out was shocking. Because we really only handed out 5 or 6 of the censored, and basically 5 of those you shoved on those ladies.
I made those ladies take those buttons. So if
Yeah.
you're listening to this podcast, those ladies, I'm surprised. Good job. Good for you.
Yeah, good for you. Yeah, because we definitely were just like, here's some we do a podcast. Here, have buttons. And other than that,
They're
only
wearing them in their little tags.
yeah,
Aw.
I saw that one on Sunday.
I didn't notice that. I noticed a lot of the vendors had the buttons on Sunday, in their uncensored glory, and only one vendor asked for the censored, and her sons got the uncensored.
She
Yeah,
just
they
thought
were-
she'd wear the
Right.
the censored more.
Right, and that's understandable. That's why we have both. I actually have I have a censored one that I wear on my hoodie that I wear to work, just so I don't get flack about the word fuck on my hoodie. But I'm going to represent my podcast at all times.
Yarn from Twist Fiber Studio, you get buttons too. So yay!
All the buttons.
Let's see. We also randomly, Emily and I both purchased snips of all random things to purchase at a festival.
They're tiny and useful. We got them from House of Yarn, which is a yarn truck. It's kind of like a food truck, but of yarn.
They also have a brick and mortar in Nashville.
But yeah, so they had wool mice on that.
They had Volmisa on that truck.
Yeah,
This year.
that was a little shocking.
I did,
Right.
yeah, that was cool. But yeah, so Erin got a pair of lime green little tiny baby, 2-inch.
I call them my
snips.
murder snips because
Yeah,
they are super
so sharp.
super fucking pointy.
But they have a little silicone cover thingy, so you won't stab yourself.
Yeah,
which is
they're my
nice.
murder snips. I love them.
Yeah, I got them to bring on planes. No one has ever complained about my little scissors that I bring on planes, but I think I could actually probably kill someone better with these tiny things than my
No
regular
shit.
scissors.
I just wanted another set because now that I'm using multiple versions of my little pillbox Folka, if you're wondering. It's a Folca. It's a Japanese pillbox.
And they are perfect.
And
Yes, she got us them for Christmas. They are awesome.
yes, they are perfect for stitch markers and everything. And they can also hold in the bigger compartment teeny tiny snips.
Like these, they fit perfect.
And so, yeah, now that I'm using multiple, I wanted multiple pairs of snips because I'm always missing my scissors. So, yeah, lime green murder snips for the win. Let's see, what else did I get? So I found at Spotted Circus, she had some merino Firestar roving. The merino is black. The Firestar is like rainbow. And so there's just enough mixed in that I really think it's going to look like an oil slick. And so I bought fucking 8 ounces of that shit because, yes.
After a consultation.
Yes.
After consultation, because I was like, do I want 4 or 8 ounces? So I asked the responsible adult member of our group, which is known as Amber. And she said buy 8 ounces. So you know for a fact, fucking buy 8 ounces.
Yes.
Because if Amber's going, yeah, you need 8 ounces, then
that fiber was so gorgeous, and I can just imagine it in a full giant shawl.
Oh, yeah. I'm
it's
going
like-
to try.
You have to get 8 ounces of that.
Right. I'm going to try and achieve lace weight. If not, I know I can do fingering weight. And I'm thinking hematite beads for that.
Yeah.
Big, lacy, beaded thing.
Agreed.
But I have to wait till after I finish my state fair fiber before I'm allowed to start that, because otherwise I will not do any of my state fair stuff that I want to do. But yeah, and then you also bought some fiber from
I also
her.
got Merino Firestar, but different. Mine is black with pink and purple and aqua and blue. It's called Stained Glass.
Yeah, it's really
And
pretty.
that's pretty much what it looks like. And it has the Firestar in like the blue and the pink, and it is very, very nice.
It is very nice.
And I also got 8 ounces upon council, and it's the first time I've gotten 8 ounces of anything, so that was good because
I
I
have
wanted
a
to get
couple
a
of
larger
things.
amount of stuff, because pretty much I always have like the 4
4
ounces.
Yeah, I usually go 4 ounces, but there's been once or twice in my life where I'm like, no, I need 8 ounces of this. Usually Yarn Geek, I think I've gotten some 8 ounces. Like, I think there's a colorway called Soylent Green that I have 8 ounces
Yes. I remember that one.
of. Because it's like lime green with green Firestar, so fuck
and it
yeah.
is gorgeous.
I need to get off my ass and spin more. Now
Well,
that
you
I have
have
2
2
wheels, I should probably... Shouldn't be, and one is going to be just in front of my chair, in front of the TV at all times. Should be easier for me to accomplish this, because the other wheel gets put away, and then I don't want to take it back out of the back. Nope, no excuses. 2 wheels.
None.
All the spinnings.
Yep.
Let's see. And I also purchased some CS dye yarn in the Alibi sock in Mr. Green from Clue.
Yes.
And it's all like green
they
and
were
speckly and black and gray and gorgeous.
She was there on Saturday.
Yes,
I didn't
'cause
see
we
her on
sunscreened her.
Sunday. We did sunscreen her. She was kind of getting sunburn. She's very pale.
Was
Yeah.
that the redhead?
Yes.
Yes. She
and-
was definitely burning, and we both definitely had sunscreen because we're also of the very pale people. And yeah, we sunscreened her and chatted with her, and
she was at the Yarn Birds booth /
Yes.
that was another
truck.
bus.
yes, but they had yeah, they had more independent dyers, I felt, than the other
Definitely,
yarn
because
truck.
they had Destination Yarn there.
Yeah, which is what I'm knitting with right now.
And
Yeah, they had,
that
I think,
cat
mostly
yarn.
independent, if not all independent dyers on their truck. I can't really think of anything that I
Yeah.
saw on their truck that was not indie. There might have been, but wool fumes are a thing, people.
My favorite thing at that truck, which was the cat themed yarn.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you mentioned it, and so that spurred
Yeah.
my brain. So when she means cat themed yarn, is basically on each skein of yarn was a picture of a cat, that the coloration of the cat determined the coloration of the yarn. So if it was like a torty cat, you would have the orange and the black. And
And I think they were adoptable cats.
were they adoptable?
I think so,
That's
yeah.
pretty awesome. Because I knew like some of the money from the purchase would go towards housing and feeding of the cats.
Yeah, I think that may have actually been pictures of the cat from, like, that shelter that the money went to.
Yeah.
But either way, I thought it was absolutely adorable, and I was very tempted to get that because my mom has a beautiful multicolored cat, and
Yeah, she does.
yeah, and so I was very tempted to get the yarn, but there was no color that was corresponding to my mom's cat, so it's kind of like, eh. But if they have one next year, I'm definitely gonna get that. But anyways, on
I also got a skein of the CS dye on her Alibi sock base, and the color I got is called A Real Hero. I don't know if that's a reference to anything.
I think it is. All of her stuff, because she'd said something the day before when we were chatting with her, because we were talking about our nerdy tendencies, and she was just like, yeah, and pointed to her stuff. I think all of her stuff is named after nerdy things. I just don't catch that reference, but it may just be a fandom I'm not into.
I wonder if it's Spider-Gwen. It's kind of Spider-Gwen colors.
What's the name of it again? I'm just going to Google and see what happens.
Hero. So it is a gray like background with pink and purple and blue, which is the theme of my purchases apparently. Speckles and black speckles, and it is beautifulness.
Well, the first thing that pops up is that it's a song by French electronica artist College in collaboration with Electric Youth.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah. So I don't know if it's from that or not, but that's exciting. And what's really funny is that we had gone on to this yarn
RV
truck previously and had fondled all the yarns, and Emily and I had both picked up a skein of A Real Hero at the two different skeins she had at the exact same time, both going ooh, and then turned and we're like, look, oh hey. So we wandered around some more, and I'm like, okay, I definitely want a skein of her yarn, but which one do I want, that one or Mr. Green, because they're both fucking fabulous. And when we got back, there was only the one skein of that left. So I was like, well, that makes up my mind, because Emily can have that one and I can have the other one I wanted. So that way we didn't have to brawl on a yarn truck.
Which would have been hilarious.
Yeah.
Especially since I was standing outside at that moment. So I would have just seen
the yarn truck start shaking.
And turn into a big dust cloud with fists.
Yes. Exactly. Except it wouldn't be a dust cloud, it would be a yarn cloud.
Oh, this is true.
Now I feel like this needs to be something that we see on the internet. It's a yarn cloud with fists coming out of it.
Knitters
Someone
gone
make
wild. Yeah, someone more savvy on doing those things. Make this happen.
Okay.
So yeah, that was one of the last things I purchased besides the...
I think the only thing I have left that I purchased to talk about is I got a spindle
Yeah.
at the silent auction made by the Dancing Goats, and it is a handmade wood spindle. I didn't own any spindles previous to this festival, and now I own 2 different kinds of spindles. So that's exciting.
I bought one of his spindles last year, and I really like it. Mine is a big, huge supported spindle. It's like almost a foot long. Like, it's huge. But it still fits in my backpack, which is great, because when I went to go visit my dad last year, I could take my spindle and spin a little bit while I was hanging out.
Mine kind of looks like a vampire steak,
Yep,
It does look like a vampire steak.
it does.
so I'm safe from vampires.
Did you have any other purchases?
No.
Okay. So
Shockingly, I'm done with my list.
I kind of want to talk about some of the other things that we saw.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh,
We
absolutely.
saw a pink alpaca.
Pink alpaca. That's exactly what I was thinking.
He was dyed with Kool-Aid.
And he was
so it
awesome.
didn't hurt him.
And it smelled good. So
Cherry
I'm
flavored alpaca.
I didn't actually huff the alpaca. I feel kind of sad that I didn't do that now.
Yeah, so pretty much anyone who was at the festival probably saw the pink alpaca, and if you were on the Instagram, you probably saw pictures of this pink alpaca
I
because
posted one on our Instagram.
everyone was taking pictures of this
Oh, yeah,
alpaca.
actually,
It was
saw
very
several.
photogenic.
Several pictures of pink alpaca when I started following various vendors that we were talking to on Instagram. Quite a few people posted the pink alpaca.
Well, he's the mascot of the festival because the poster of the show this year, the pink alpaca is the largest fiber animal on it. So it's like theme.
You know, I didn't even notice that.
Here, I have the brochure right here. There he is.
It is a pink
that is-
alpaca.
that is a fucking pink alpaca.
So beyond the pink alpaca, another odd thing that we saw was the man with bagpipes.
Oh, yeah.
Him.
He's not odd. That's normal
meant-
in my world.
Odd in the sense of we're at a fiber festival. Bagpipes? Yeah, either way, he was really good. He was really great. He
was.
actually wore a kilt.
Did. He was
And
all-
had some
all set
fantastic
up.
kilt hose on.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Erin was immediately like drawn to the sound of her people
Well, yeah.
and proceeded to
I
take
hear my
probably
people.
about 5 bajillion pictures of him. So of course
It's
I
on
had
my
to-
Instagram.
I had to snag a picture of her taking a picture of him because that's what I do.
All I know is that at that point we were just kind of chilling and wandering around the Fiber and talking to Fiberfest and talking to people because we were just waiting for the end of the silent auction. And all of a sudden I hear bagpipes and I'm just like, whoosh, off.
And she's gone.
And I hear bagpipes.
We also saw some bunnies, and we got to pet George, the baby bunny, at Touch of Color Studios, where I got my cotton roving. I think they bought him at the
She did
festival.
say that she had purchased him.
Yeah, because I was looking at their Facebook page, and they were like, meet George, our newest booth member or employee.
He was very cute and very soft and so chill.
Yeah, he was
Super
very
chill.
chill.
He did not care that we were, like, petting him all up in his biz.
Yeah, it was like, we were just like, oh, there's George. Just like, he's not even worried about this at all. He's just chilling there on your shoulder. Shoulder bunny.
And there was also sheep shearing demonstrations, which they try to do every year, so they can educate people.
That was cool, because I hadn't seen that up close before.
Yeah,
Yeah, I had not
really
seen
good.
it until my first year at Kentucky Sheep and Fiber Fest.
I think we saw one from a distance at that Kentucky Wool Fest, the little one.
Yeah.
But we were, like, really close to these.
Oh, yeah. This one you can get, like, way close and go, yep, that's a sheep. But what was really awesome is they brought by a, like, 2-week-old lamb for us to pet, and his name was Luke, and his sister Leia, and they were born on May the 4th.
Star Wars lamb!
So they had Star Wars lambs, and so, yeah, I geeked out about the Star Wars lamb.
That was exciting.
It was very adorable. I only got to see pictures.
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
so
they
cute.
were only there on... I didn't see them in the pen on Sunday. They were only there on Saturday.
And then, well, because I think they sheared their mom and then took them, didn't bring them back the next day because mom had already been sheared. And let's see. Oh, waffle truck. I feel like we should take a moment to talk
Definitely
about the waffle truck.
Talk about the waffle truck.
Because
Had a turkey, brie, and raspberry jam waffle.
which is what I had.
I had a Cubano waffle both days because fuck yeah, on a ciabatta waffle.
I had the Cubano waffle the second day.
I had the leftovers of their Cubano waffle.
Because they were packed full of
was lots
like
of meat.
lots of pork.
Yes.
Lots of pork, some really good pickles and Swiss.
Yes, the name of this food truck that we were talking about, if you're in the area, is Who, like, long. It's WHOOO, Wants Waffles.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There's
because
an
there's the
owl
Alner
logo.
truck. Yeah.
And there's a giant owl on the truck. They're based out of Lexington, Kentucky. And they were actually there last year, which was great because I had a falafel waffle. Because it's the most fun to say. That's why I ordered it.
Falafel waffle wasn't there.
Me too, because they made the waffle out of falafel and topped it with like lettuce and chicken and
The tzatziki sauce.
yeah, that stuff. And it was so fucking good. So I was really excited to see that the waffle truck had made a return this year.
Yeah, I'd be surprised if it wasn't there next year. It was popular.
It was very popular.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, they were crushing it.
Well, and when we were talking to one of the vendors, they had said, one of the major vendors, who's one of the sponsors, had said, like, they talked to the people running it previous year and were like, we don't care who you get next year for food vendors, but the waffle truck needs to come back. And yeah, who knew fucking waffle truck would just make...
Great idea. A
Yeah.
plus.
Yeah, one of my favorites was last year was the it was a cornbread waffle topped with pulled pork and coleslaw.
So good.
It was absolutely delicious, and I
Yeah.
think about that a lot.
Yeah,
Oh,
they
I
also
think about
do,
the falafel waffle a lot.
Waffle ice cream sundaes too.
And they also had, like,
Traditional waffle.
they had sweet waffles. They had, like, the Elvis. They had s'mores waffle. And they also had other savory waffles. Like, there was a BLT waffle. And
None of us got that one.
none of us got that one. And then there was another waffle
was a
that none of us
breakfast
got.
waffle.
Breakfast something.
Yeah, with chorizo and hash and something.
because
egg.
on Sunday they didn't have that on the board. But
Yeah, they had just
still
run out.
Gave it to another
I think he
person,
probably had just. He got the last one.
because
Or
I
chorizo.
wanted it. Like
Yeah.
after I saw that, and I was like, I want a breakfast waffle because waffles aren't breakfast.
Yeah, but it was like a weird like breakfast waffle sandwich thing. Yeah,
And it looked delicious.
It did look really good.
And I know it had creme fraiche on it because the lady asked him, "Do you want creme fraiche on this?" And he said yes.
Yes.
Correct choice.
I was
Yeah.
so tempted to steal it.
Oh yeah, because he let it sit up in the window for like a good 3 minutes. He's
Yep.
like, dude, you can't. We're waiting on food. We're starving, and that looks really good right now. So yeah, food at this festival is A+, mainly because there's a waffle truck, and this year there was beer, and that was like the greatest thing ever, is having fancy waffle sandwich and beer.
It was great.
And wool.
And wool.
And we
So
actually
much
had
wool
time to sit
fumes.
down and knit, which was really nice.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was bigger this year than last year.
Agreed.
There were more vendors, which is awesome. I really hope that this festival continues to do well. It looked like a really good turnout because there were so many people there on Saturday. And like the turnout on Sunday was still pretty good, but Saturday was like ridiculous. And that was when it was 900 million degrees inside those barns. But I really feel like a lot of the vendors were doing really well, which is awesome because we talked to so many vendors and so many people were nice to us when we were like, hey, we have this podcast and it has swears and you should listen. They're like, fuck yeah.
Yeah, I mean, when we were walking around, there was stuff that we had seen earlier that we, like, definitely had sold out as we walked around more, so...
Oh,
Like
yeah, absolutely.
That one sparkle yarn that you guys were talking about.
Yeah, and that was very early on,
It was from
too.
Twist, right?
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
from Twist.
like
It's
the
their,
rainbowy-
It's kind of like what my sock blanket is, but more white and less black.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I saw it in a different base, and I was like, man, if that had sparkle in it, I would totally
and
buy
they
it.
totally had that on Saturday, but even when Aaron and I just did our first loop and came around on the second loop, it was gone. So
Yeah, because the first loop, you don't purchase anything at a fiber festival.
Yeah, should we give some Fiber Festival tips?
Sure.
So, in my opinion, now, if it were some Fiberfest, I think you might have to go differently if there's like a vendor that you know is going to sell out of everything.
Yeah, so this, I would say that the walk around not buying anything is if you're at a smaller festival. If you're at a festival that has like Miss Babs and they have an exclusive festival colorway, you should probably go do
Or
that
like
first.
Rhinebeck or
Yeah,
something
like-
insane
like
that gets insane like
Rhinebeck,
that.
you should probably just buy it when you see it because it will be gone.
Right.
But we're talking about more smaller, like local, not everyone in the friggin' country comes to it.
Right. So probably ignore us if you go to Rhinebeck or like Maryland Sheep and Wool. Just throw all this advice out the window. But we usually do just a loop to look at what everybody has and start formulating ideas of what we want. So, because I don't want to spend all my money at the first booth going, oh my God, look at all this stuff and buy it. And then go like 3 booths down and I go, holy shit, this is even more me. How did you even make that possible? But not have any money left. So we did a loop on Saturday, ate lunch, because we got there like, what, 11-ish? It opened up at 9, but I closed the night before, so I was on like 4 hours of sleep. It was great. We did a loop, we ate lunch, and then we went back, and that yarn was already gone. Yep. Which is an awesome sign. And if you know you're
And
going
that yarn was gone on several bases, not just that sparkle
No,
base.
yeah, it was wiped out pretty quickly. And I would say if you know that there's a big purchase that you've been saving up for, buy that first. So then you know what the rest of your budget is. Because some miracle might happen and it might be on festival pricing. And you now have suddenly a much larger budget than what you thought you were going to have. Because I thought I was going to buy a wheel and like a thing or two, depending on like pricing or what I found. And instead I got to buy a wheel and all the things. It was great. It's like motherfucking Christmas.
The other thing that we like to do is bring our budget in cash.
Yes.
Yes.
This is something that I do for Comic Cons and that kind of thing.
Yes.
Too. It's easy to know how much money you have left to spend. You don't need to like
When
look
you can
up
count
on
it in your grubby little
phone,
hands.
like whatever. Yeah, then you can just be like, I have this many dollars left. Also, you never know if definitely most vendors took Square, but you never know if their Square is going to be
There were issues,
down.
right? There were issues with
Yeah.
some people's squares on Saturday.
Because fiber festivals tend to be in large fields in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, so there was some issues getting some of them to go through, apparently. There was some like weird wireless things going on, and because I heard some vendors talking about that. So yeah, for me it was pretty awesome.
Also, beer was in cash.
Beer was cash only.
The entrance fee is cash only.
Entrance fee is cash only. So definitely, even if you don't do your whole budget, always bring some cash. I do my whole budget in cash just because it's so much easier for me, because wool fumes are really a thing. And you get surrounded by that much wool, your brain will shut down.
I was about to say, especially if there's a yarn that you know is going to be there and you get so excited about it that you quite literally start to cry. And then you spend the rest of the day coming down from that high.
Or the fact that my wheel was lots of money off and I was like so goddamn high the rest of Saturday, because I was just like, what the fuck? Seriously? Is this real life? Because I can't believe it right now. I don't think this is real life. But the fact that I still have money in my hand says that happened, because I have money in my hand and a wheel in the car. So yeah.
Another tip, always bring sunscreen.
Oh, yeah.
Reapply often, and have your friends get your back, because I missed 2 spots and they were both down by
I offered
on my
many
back.
times.
I thought I had it. That's what I get. But even then, like, even my arms were like red and stuff, and we reapplied like 5 times, but we are pasty people.
Yeah, we seriously reapplied like 5 times.
We did. I counted it
Another
because
important thing is a large bag.
Yeah, like a large tote bag, because that way you don't have to take bags from every single one of the vendors. Honestly, the only bag that I got...
I take bags for fiber.
I take
because
bags for
I don't
fiber.
want fiber to touch everything.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
what I was
like
going to
those
say.
roll eggs.
Yeah.
That now have sparkled your bag.
Sparkled everything.
Maybe bring an extra plastic bag just in case a vendor you buy from doesn't have a bag for your fiber.
Yeah, so the only time I ever get a bag from a vendor is if am getting fiber, because then it won't try to be friends with everything else in my bag. But other than that, yarn, I just throw in there. And bring a water bottle. Because
Definitely
we
bring a water
forgot
bottle.
on Saturday, which was a rookie mistake. But in my defense, no sleep. So I remembered my water bottle on Sunday, though. Actually remembered it on my way to your house that morning. But at that point, I was like, meh.
Also, it's a good idea to, if there are some things that you know you're going to be looking for, to go ahead and write them down somewhere.
Oh yeah, we all made
Yeah,
a
we
list.
all had shopping lists.
And it was my shopping list wasn't like you must get these things. It was like you must get this one thing because I really wanted to get the undyed roving because I knew I needed that for the state fair, and then like patterns that I might want to knit and what their yardages are.
Right, and like I knew that I wanted to buy a gradient so that I could make a shawl. I didn't have a pattern picked out, so I didn't know yardage. I just knew that this was something I wanted on my list because this is a thing I wanted to do. And if there was no gradient that, leaped out at me, then I still would have been okay. It wasn't anything I desperately needed. But also, this happens to be in perfect timing so that we could prepare for our state fair. And I did actually go through the list of stuff that I wanted to do to see if there was anything that I did need to purchase while I was there. Safe this year, though. My stash shopping provided all I needed, sadly. I think I have some undyed stuff that I can dye because there's a dyeing portion
not
this
doing that
year.
one.
I am, but I think I have stuff in my stash. I didn't look for that. But yeah, so shopping list is key. Knowing your budget. I also find it very helpful to toss my stash right before I go so that I know what's in it, because my stash is probably at Sable at this point and I don't give a fuck. But going through it and looking around for stuff helps me remember what I have, especially if you know that there are going to be vendors there that have been there in previous years, because otherwise I'd end up with like 500 things from the Yarn Geek, because I already have 500 things from the Yarn Geek because she's amazing and you should buy stuff from her. But yeah, tossing my stash beforehand is always very helpful for me, because I can also see if there's any gaps of stuff that I might want, like the gradient for a lace weight shawl kind of thing, or fingering weight, whatever.
Or if you're into self-striping socks, self-striping sock yarn.
Right.
Because I
That's
always have...
on my list. I don't even
Yeah.
need to write that down on the list.
I have a lot of that in the stash.
Well, I knit through it because I love it.
That's my problem, is I don't.
And so, like, I was going through my stash, preparing for the festival, and I realized I was like, I only have like 2 things of self-striping now. This is sad.
Wow.
I
Yeah.
know.
That is very low for you.
For me, yeah.
That's very low for anyone, really. I might have a panic attack if mine got down to 2. It would also take a miracle.
Anything else anyone wants to
Let's
add?
see. Also, be nice to your vendors,
Be very nice.
because you might get to a point with them where you can chat and hang out and get colorways created for you. And also they're, away from their friends and family and selling you yarn. So absolutely be fucking nice to these people. Even if they've run out of something you want. Don't be a jackass. Be very nice to them. Because they're hot and sweaty and they don't really get to leave their booths if they're by themselves.
Also, the thought process that, they may not have it there at the time, but they may be willing to send it to you at a later
Oh,
date.
absolutely. I have purchased things at this fiber festival multiple times from various vendors that they were out of at the time. Or in the case of Poly Studios, which does a lot of really awesome ceramic work, did not have with them, but they went home and fired it up for me and then mailed it to me. So absolutely, I have purchased stuff that vendors did not have on site, but went ahead and paid for it. And they wrote it down. I had my receipt for my records, and I usually had the item within like 3 to 4 weeks. And I've done that
multiple times.
at least 3 that I can think of. Camel Silk, Poly Studios, and my Lazy Kate from Susan.
Yep.
I may have done it more than that, but those are like from 3 different vendors. I have purchased stuff that they did not have there because I'm nice to people, and at least I'll try to be nice to people.
Nice to your vendors.
And you can also just chat to them about really ridiculous stuff. So like Apothecary and I were talking about just various nerdy things, and she turned me on to this really awesome
Fossils.
Instagram feed about fossils, and it's fucking legit. I was looking at it today and I love it. I'm glad I followed them. So yeah, vendors are people too, who are cool.
So I think that's it for our Kentucky Sheep and Wool episode.
Festival wrap up. Woohoo! Wool fumes.
Yay! We purchased a lot of things, had
Oh
a
my
great
God.
time. We will be
Purchased so many
posting
things.
lots of pictures with this.
Yes.
And if you hadn't already seen all of the Instagram pictures that have been posted, go check those out.
Yeah. And because I know Emily posted her haul on her
I did. There's a picture of all
Instagram.
of my stuff. On
and I know I
Instagram.
posted a picture of my haul on my private Instagram as
Someone
well.
needs to step it up.
Yeah.
So we're not naming any names.
But we did take
Well,
a
that's
picture
because I
of
don't know my name.
all of our hauls.
That's why I'm not naming
right
it.
before recording this. So
Yeah, we
do
did
have a
get the
picture
lump
of
hump.
all of the things except
Well-
for Aaron's wheel.
Except for the giant wheel. I left that at home because it's not really a travel, it's a Saxony. So it's still at home waiting for its name.
But yes, so we will post the more pictures.
So many
And
pictures.
Until next time, fuck
Fuck
it.
it.
Fuck it.
Fuck this name.